welcome to This Week in the ACCC. I'm Robert Williamson. We have got a very busy show for you. Basketball to talk about, both men's and women's. There's softball, there's baseball, there's polls, there's division standings. It's all on This Week in the ACCC, and it begins right after the break. Welcome back to This Week in the ACCC. Let's hop right into the info and start with the ladies first in the world of basketball and the Player of the Week. Raven Russell, a redshirt freshman from Shelton State Community College, has been named the ACCC Player of the Week. The Millbrook, Alabama native led the 10th-ranked Bucks to 2 victories last week. Scored 15, including 3 for 3 from three-point range against Southern Union. She followed that with a 14-point outing against Alabama Southern. Congratulations to Raven Russell. What about basketball this week? Well, here's some of the action that took place. Lawson State Community College got 16 from Sakina Wynn in defeating Gadsden State by a final score of 80-41. Outscoring Wallace Community College Selma in every quarter was Chat Valley. They win it 80-57. Saria Johnson had a double-double. Not a double-double in rebounds and points, but in assists and points. 10 assists, 17 points to lead Shelton State to a 101-57 victory over Wallace State Hansville. It was Snead State Community College, a 65-42 winner over Southern Union. Meanwhile, Alabama Southern Community College got 26 from Shamina Hunter and 20 from Peyton Kaiser to beat Bishop State by a final of 91-63. Kiara Jackson scoring 20 to lead LBW to a 55-47 win over Faulkner State. Meanwhile, one other game to report that was an out-of-conference encounter for Enterprise State. They took on a GCAA foe, Albany Tech, and Albany Tech coming away with a 3-point win, 61-58. Let's take a look at the standings in the North Division first of the ACCC. There you will see a Shelton State squad that has now won 11 in a row and are unbeaten in conference play atop the standings. In the number 2 spot, Lawson State, and they're putting the squeeze on Shelton State, but don't have a whole lot of time left in the regular season of the ACCC. Meanwhile, in the South Division, unbeaten is Chat Valley, and winners of 8 in a row. Alabama Southern, they're impressive on the men's side, and almost as much so on the ladies' side, as they are 7-2 in conference play, and there you see the rest of the standings in the South Division. How about those NJCAA basketball polls? Only one ACCC team in the rankings, and go figure. It was a team that was number 9 a couple of weeks ago, Shelton State. They win a couple of games, and they fall to 10. Well, they win more games, and this week they fall to 11. Now, 23-2 on the year. Their only 2 losses came to then-ranked squads, but a team that a couple of weeks ago was number 9 and hasn't lost. This year, as a matter of fact, they are now at number 11. But we'll see how things are going to come in the season. On to men's basketball, and let's start with the Player of the Week. And we've got to go all the way down to Monroeville, Alabama, to find Alabama Southern's Daniel Kinshin, who is named the Player of the Week. The sophomore guard is from Atlanta, Georgia. Helped his team to a couple of wins, averaging 23 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and a couple of steals while shooting 86% from the free throw line. Congratulations to you, Daniel, and a team at Alabama Southern that just continues to win games. Let's get to not only Alabama Southern scores, but how about other teams in the ACCC? First, Marion Military Institute had 3 double-digit scores to beat West Georgia Tech, 76-45. It was Enterprise State Community College outscoring Jefferson Davis in both halves en route to an 89-63 win. Shelton State gets revenge. They win in Tuscaloosa over Wallace State Hansville, 63-58. You might recall the game of the week 3 or 4 weeks back was in Hansville, Alabama, where the Lions were victorious on that day. This day, it was the Bucks. Meanwhile, what's up with this Gadsden State squad? They're impressing some people, turning heads. They knock off Lawson State by a final score of 82-78. Snead State Community College, a 73-67 winner over Southern Union. It was Chandler Davis with a double-double, had 14 rebounds, 17 points, and that Sneed State win. Faulkner State, a 2-point victory over LBW, 73-71. The Colors were contributing points. Mike Green with 21, Keon Brown with 20. Okay, a little cheese mixed in, James. It's okay. My producer who cranks up the cheeseometer when we toss in a little, very little. Let's go into more scores. Chat Valley, a 70-65 winner over Wallace Selma. 4 double-digit scores for the Pirates. And it was Alabama Southern continuing their winning ways in the South Division of the ACCC, beating the number 2 team by a 90-85 final. Bishop State actually out-rebounded Alabama Southern 2-1. But when you shoot like Alabama Southern did, it's hard not to win games. 64% from the floor, 53% from behind the arc, and 82% from the free throw line. Well, we were talking about the divisions. Let's take a look at the divisions in the ACCC, starting with the North, where Lawson State is number 1 at 7-2, but not far behind Marion Military Institute, Shelton State, which, by the way, that's the game of the week this week. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Both at 5-3, and you gotta kind of look in the rearview mirror at that Gadsden State squad. They've got 5 wins as well, 5-4, but as I mentioned, they've knocked off all the division leaders. Meanwhile, in the South, well, things continue as is. Alabama Southern's got it wrapped up. They've still got more games to play, and it certainly doesn't mean they've got the South Division regular season title on the trophy shelf already, but they are 9-0 and have been impressive. Bishop State at 7-3. If we take a look at the NJCAA polls, there is only one team that's getting a mention. They're not in the top 25, but it is MMI, Marion Military Institute, which technically I guess is at 26. They are just outside of the top 25 in the also receiving votes category. When we come back, let's talk a little softball and a little baseball as well. Plus a milestone has been reached by an ACCC coach. That and more after we break on This Week in the ACCC. Welcome back to This Week in the ACCC. Got a little baseball and softball to talk about. Where softball is concerned, not a great week for the ACCC. Nobody got all wins and no losses. The best performance by a single ACCC squad is Chat Valley, who went 3-1. Did sweep a doubleheader on Sunday over LaGrange College, and thus far this week are 3-1. In the world of baseball, some very nice starts. MMI is unbeaten at 4-0. Southern Union is unbeaten at 4-0. Wallace State Hansville, after a season opening loss, has reeled off 11 straight wins. Chat Valley, after opening the season with a loss to East Georgia, they have reeled off 8 in a row. And how about LBW? LBW now 7-0. They've won every game they've played thus far this year, and we've got to say a big hats off to their head coach, Steve Helms. He picked up the victory over Enterprise State on Saturday, his 900th career win. Congratulations, Steve Helms. 26 years at LBW. They've been impressive. When we come back, let's talk about the ACCC Game of the Week and maybe a little bit more as we bring this week's edition of This Week in the ACCC to a close. final segment of This Week in the ACCC. Well, tonight we are in Marion, Alabama. Marion Military Institute taking on Shelton State. Rematch of a game that was played in Tuscaloosa, in which Shelton State came away with a win. We're about to see if MMI gets revenge tonight. Of course, probably watching this at halftime. If not, well, enjoy the second half if you are, and if not, well, you probably know what happened in Marion. Meanwhile, the game of the week next week, we travel back to Monroeville, Alabama. Alabama Southern taking on Chat Valley. We'll have the coverage at 5:30 for the ladies, and then the men's game starts at 7:30. Quick reminder, we need you to follow us on Twitter, befriend us on Facebook. We keep you updated on everything that we are doing in the ACCC, and not just with the ACCC. Got some other stuff going on as well. You can find out all about it by following us on Twitter. You see there at JockJive, and befriending us on Facebook. Put JockJive in the search engine. Follow us, befriend us. We'll thank you very much. And speaking of thanking you, thanks for watching. And be sure to be back next week for another edition of This Week in the ACCC. James Crenshaw has been your executive producer. I'm Robert Williamson. So long, everybody.